Okay, so this one is the waves, and then for this you'll need one of these. They're really cheap. This is a really old one. Fabulous. So I take really small sections for these. Also, I'm not a vlogger, so don't laugh at my awkwardness. It's really easy, and the main thing is don't concentrate too much on it, and also don't wrap all the hair the same way. So I take sections probably about that big, so they're quite small. And then the trick is don't try and do it in front of your face, because that's when people end up burning their faces. The way I do it does ache your arms more, but you're not going to burn yourself. So take your wand and wrap it around the back of your head and hold it there, and then just wrap your hair around it like that. And then you won't burn your face. Obviously you can wear the little glove things that come with these so you don't burn your fingertips, but I don't think they're very good. I don't think you can. And then, okay, this is the main thing. Don't just let your hair drop the minute it comes out of the wand. Let it cool down a bit in your hand first. Obviously it's going to be really spirally for now, but that's fine for how you want it. Also, it'll look weird me doing mine because I've got extensions, so some bits of my hair is like a bob. Yours will obviously be the same length. Also, don't put the wand on and then just start doing it straight away. I literally turn it on and then I go and have my breakfast and then come back, because then it's hot enough then. And I do it on the hottest one. But if your hair's overly processed, I wouldn't probably put it on the hottest side. This one goes at 25. If your hair's quite damaged, I'd maybe just leave it at 17. But because mine's mostly extensions, I'll just do it at 25. What I'll do is I'll just keep pausing it up until certain points, because obviously you don't just want to sit staring at my face in silence, because I'm not an influencer, I have nothing exciting to say, so I'll just pause it. Okay, so I'm further up now, and I forgot to say I always spray each layer with a bit of hairspray as I go along. The thing I think is the best to do is get a really strong hairspray, but spray it quite far away. Spraying loads and loads of a lesser hold hairspray just is going to weigh down your hair, because you're just caking it in product. So I get a number 5 hold, but literally do it from about, like, you can't even see it in the camera, like from about that distance, like quite far away. Okay, so what I meant about not doing it the same way, this bit's personal preference, because I know some people don't like their hair going into their face, but I do. So like this one, I hold it here, and I do hold it by my face here, but just if you do it this way going forward and it's by your face, just be really careful. Concentrate while you're doing it. Don't be like off talking to people and not looking at what you're doing. So I hold it here and I wrap it towards my face for the first bit. Don't go under it. Take it over and into your face, and then just wrap it like normal. And then this bit's going to go inwards. But I know a lot of people like it going away from their face, so I'll show you that bit next. Okay, so obviously if you like it going away, do the behind the head thing for the away. Same as was before, so you'll put it there and the hair will go back over it towards the back of your head. That way, because basically with this wand, if you do it all the same way and then you brush it out, you'll get that like Hollywood wave thing, which is nice if you're going to like an event or something. But it's not. I prefer messier hairstyles, so I always do it alternate ways, and then you haven't. It's not like too neat. Please ignore my double chins while I'm doing this. I don't know how Instagram people do it because it's hard to look nice when you're concentrating. Basically with this style, just make it up as you go along. It doesn't matter. If some end up tighter than others, it doesn't really matter. But I do this if I'm on holiday because this will literally hold in your hair for like 3 days at least. You can just top up like the top layers. Like when I went to Madrid, I'd done this on the Friday morning and I didn't do my hair then until we came home. Mostly because we took the wrong travel plug, so we couldn't actually do our hair because we couldn't plug it in. Okay, so if you see that one's come forward, that one's going backwards. I've done this one now coming forward. I'll pause it again because this might get a bit boring for you because it does take a while. The only thing with this hairstyle is it's quite long, so allow yourself at least an hour, I'd say. When I do it, I'd say an hour and a half, but that's because I've got lots of extensions. So if your hair's quite long and thick, I'd make sure you've got at least an hour and a half, especially if you're quite new to doing it as well. Okay, I'm going to pause it now. Okay, so I just wanted to explain why I said to hold it for a few seconds and don't just let it drop. Basically, when your hair's hot, you can reform the shape of hair while it's hot, and then it'll set in that position while it's cool. So let me just. It's probably better to show you what I mean. So while it's right around this now and the hair's getting hotter, that's why it takes the shape of whatever tool you use, because it will reshape while it's hot. Also, can I just say, how funny is it how much your voice changes when you're recording yourself? I sound like Demi, my sister, the posh one, the Pony Club one. Okay, so if I was just let that drop straight away, then obviously because of the weight of it, the curl would drop a lot more than what I want it to be. I want it to be quite spirally for now. If I just let it drop and it's still warm and the curl goes a lot looser, it will then set like that, and then that's why you think that your hair drops throughout the day. Obviously it does, but if you've started off with it already dropped way more than what you wanted, then it's a losing game. You're not going to achieve what you wanted. So see how bouncy that stays. If I'd have just let it go straight away, it would have probably been a bit more like this one. Oh, so I left one. That was it. See that one? It's like I didn't hold that one to show you the difference. That hopefully makes sense now. But like I said with this one, don't overthink it too much, because that's when it almost looks a bit too neat. And then also don't panic thinking that you look like Curly Sue, because this involves a lot of brushing out. Well, not brushing, combing out with your fingers, which is why I always love my long nails, because they come in handy. Hopefully you're getting the gist of it now. That's this side so far. Okay, I'm just going to pause it again because I know it's the same all over, obviously. Okay, so I'm nearer the top now. Something that I think I've noticed when I've seen girls do this themselves, and then they get annoyed why their hair seems so flat, is I think there may be like, first of all, I don't think people are doing it like that anyway. I think girls are trying to do it like here, meaning they're not really starting to wrap their hair down until like halfway round, and then see all that top bit at the top, it's just completely straight and flat. The thing about wrapping it over, carry that on all the way literally to the top of your head. So I've got these bits here which are like right on my crown. You start it from here still. Obviously if you don't like volume and you like that straight flat bit at the top, then that's fine, but I've seen girls moan about it and wonder why their hair goes flat. See how mine literally goes from the very root now, whereas I think some people, like, they just start it at the wrong point and then they've just got this big straight bit there. So just don't basically, it's really hard with this one because I get bored of it, my arms ache, I regret even beginning sometimes. I've just moved my room round, like I've swapped it over, and in my other room this dressing table was right next to my window, so like I could rest this elbow on the window. I don't have anything in this room like that, so. But your muscles will thank me. That's the good thing about, well, the tops of my arms are quite big because of years of doing this, so I'd say you'll thank me, but it depends whether you want to have muscly arms like Madonna. And another thing I always say is if I can make it look okay on my hair, anyone can, because I don't know if you've noticed the top layer of my hair is slowly like a little bob. So you know if it can work on mine, it can work on everyone's. So, because mine is a lost cause, so I'm just going to pause it again while I carry on a little bit. Okay, so I just got to my fringe now. Short fringes, you can still do it. Like mine is pretty much nearly, I cut it the other day, so it's close to like being a full fringe again. I don't leave any bits straight. But just use, like, obviously you're not going to get it much around there, so just use the tiny end. So if there's not really many hairstyles that can't do this other than a pixie cut. Even a bob, see how it, like, you can still do it and it just sits. If you have a bob that's sort of like here, you can definitely still do it. I think a lot of people seem to think that only long hair can, like, it will look different, but I've used these on a girl with a bob before. I think I used to use it on my own hair when it was a bob as well. It just obviously looks different. You can't wrap the hair around quite as many times, so it's just more of like a, I don't know, it's got a lot flickier probably. And then there was a trick I was just going to show you as well for putting these down when they're so hot. I never put them straight down on my dressing table. Put them on top of your straighteners. So, because even those heat mat things, I don't really like them. They panic me. I don't trust anything that's any kind of fabric really. So yeah, I just always rest them like they literally sit perfectly on these straighteners and they don't touch anything at all. Okay, so just gonna give it all another spray. I just tend to like let hairspray fall on down. Sorry, I'm quite bad at talking while I'm doing stuff. Okay, let your hairspray dry for a minute, and obviously this bit I've just done, slightly, it's just cooling down. This is how it looks when you're done. Some people just like this, so I think there has been occasions where I haven't really combed down much and I've just left it like this, but lately I have been combing it through. But don't grab a brush, because if you grab a brush then you're just going to end up with a massive frizz ball. So literally just use your fingers, because you can do it as much or as little as you want, and I just pull them apart with my fingers. If you want, what I was going to say as well, if you want them looser, don't think that holding it on for less time is what's going to make it looser. It's the size of your sections. So I do quite small sections because I like quite a lot going on. If you don't want if this is a bit much for you, then literally just take bigger sections of hair around the wand while you're doing it. But yeah, I'm just looking at my phone now, and so far I think this has taken me like 56 minutes. Normally it can be quicker if you're really concentrating and you're not sort of like checking your phone or doing anything else in between. But yeah, what I always would say is if you're finishing work at 5 and then you're meant to be back out at 7, I wouldn't start trying to do this because I think you'd probably just get like you're getting a flap about it. Like what I do if I'm going out and this is what I want, I'll wake up early for it on purpose. So like set my alarm for like 6 o'clock if I have work that day. But then it's done then for the night, and then I'll leave it a bit tighter for work. So then it'll like hold for the rest of the night, because obviously I won't be going home to top it up. Okay, so this tends to be how I leave it now. And it's unique to everyone. Not everyone likes it this tight. Just keep running your fingers through it if you want it looser and looser. And then how you style it around the front is up to you. Some people like to pin a bit back. I always tend to like put that side behind my ear. You can still do any bit of back combing if you still want your hair a bit bigger. But yeah, that's how I get that look. So let me know how you get on.